Hey guys, Matt at Narrowland, putting together another quick Webflow tutorial today. What we're going to be looking into is creating columns, responsive columns using only divs and using a minimal amount of classes and styles to do so. The grid is great, but it kind of has some constraints. Columns has been timed out by Webflow, and columns never was actually a very great module. So here's as I said, quick, easy, very minimal workaround that'll allow you to create responsive columns. And in this case, what we'll be doing in this example is having text on one side and an image on the other side. And we'll create a nice amount of padding in between those elements as well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is drop a div into your container. And we're going to set that up as columns. So we use flex layout, horizontal. I like to align everything to the top and justify everything to the left. So that is pretty simple to set up, right? And then what we do is we're going to add a text column. So we'll drop another div in there, text column. And this column is going to be 50% on desktop. And then just so that we're moving quickly and efficiently here, I'm going to dip down to tablet real fast and up that to 100%. So that's going to help with our responsive needs. Next, I'm going to put in an image column. So let's make sure we have those column divs attached. And we'll put another div block in there, and we'll call this one image column, which I have already prepared for this. So boom, 50% again. And when we switch over to tablet or anything smaller, 100%. What I've also done so that you don't need to worry about adding a bunch of styles to the image that's included, you'll see here that I automatically add padding on the bottom of that image column. So the image is typically going to go above the text in the order when things stack up for responsive, at least the way that I build sites out. So I usually put 40 pixels padding since I'm on an 8-point grid, 40 times 8 times 5. Sometimes 24 works a little bit better depending on the site, but we'll go with 40 for today. Okay, so let's put some text in here so this isn't just purely theoretical. So I'll drop a quick H2 in there, and then let's just drop a paragraph in there as well. Okay, and I'm not going to need padding on my paragraph, just so everything really looks good. Last, 0. Okay, image column. Let's drop an image in there. I already have images styled on this site. So preview image is going to give us a nice little drop shadow there. And that's what we'll use. Okay, so next up, let's make this text column versatile, right? So it's either going to be on the left or the right. Right now it sits on the left. So if the text column is left, let's add a margin of 100 pixels. And there's our spacing. When we size down, let's just make sure that we remove that margin. We don't need it anymore. Sweet. Let's flip-flop the columns. So we'll put the image on the right. So we don't need that padding over there anymore. So we'll get rid of left, and let's create another class. I like capitals because I'm OCD or something, right? And we add 100, looking good. Move it down. So here's a good example, a better example than on the left of what happens if you're not removing that margin. So make sure when you size down, you remove that margin. And Here we go. So that preview image is looking pretty good. Okay. So this looks good, but if you don't have enough text, things are looking a little top heavy. So let's create some variations on the columns. So I have equal. And when I do equal, you'll see, instead of having everything aligned top, we just align everything center. And that looks pretty sharp. When we go to, we stack everything up. Okay, great. So I'll show you one more little thing here. Text column, let's put this back over. Just for the sake of practice, let's make it left once again. And as I said earlier, I am not a fan of the text going before the image. I usually go image or video or whatever media element it is, and then the text underneath, right? So columns equal. I have one more class that I am typically loading in, and that takes care, and that utilizes the reverse feature. So I call that reverse. And as you'll see, that means that we've selected reverse when we go to mobile. So you see reverse has been selected. We've gone from horizontal to vertical, and it flip-flops the same way for us, independent of if the image is on the left or the right. So to summarize, columns. Horizontal when we're on our desktop view. As soon as we go down to tablet, we want to go to vertical, and we keep everything aligned left and justified on the bottom. For your text column, just keep it simple. 50% wide on desktop. If it's on the left, let's add 100 pixels padding to the right-hand side. If it is on the right, let's add 100 pixels padding to the right-hand side. Looks great. And if it is set up this way, you don't want it reversed. So there we go. And lastly, keep that image column really simple. 50 pixels wide on desktop, 100 pixels wide on tablet or below, and add your padding there instead of on the image, which I guess I'm not practicing what I preach here with this specific example because I already had a little padding loaded in, but definitely simpler if you have your padding just preloaded there and you're not having to make changes on a image by image basis. And that's pretty much it. That is how we very quickly create minimal columns, 2 columns. That's how they're responsive, and that's how we get away with only using divs and a very small amount of styling classes. Hope that's helpful on your next project. And if you have any questions, anything that wasn't explained clearly here, let us know. Thanks.